Welcome to House Blood, where strangers are family. Every episode contains graphic content, including but not limited to copious amounts of blood, unnecessary cursing, death of all ages, be they infants or immortals, fantasy drug use, nudity, mentions of sex, and sound effects of various qualities. We cannot stress enough that this is mature content with adult themes. You have been warned. I hope you're ready.
All right. Welcome to House Common Blood. I'm Gray, your DM and host. We're a D&D 5e podcast currently playing the adventure Hangmen Worms of Frostheart. Our party were former prisoners, once covert operatives for Giuliano's government, as they face sentient calamities led by the Rebirth Bastion, a Genasi army threatening to destroy the world. Recently, our misfit group confronted an emotional vampire in Sheum, a town made of a thinking slime mimic, a sentient calamity. After a fierce battle and defeating the vampire, they face consequences, such as a curse from a hag. Now free from imprisonment, the party journeys on, even delivering cookies to another hag. However, a party member is cursed to kill a living seal, leading them to a dungeon with a Trask burial site. Breaking the curse involved an unusual pact, transplanting an elder brain into the Trask skeleton. The necromancer, Phoenix, a fire genasi, was defeated, and the Trask remains within its ward. Venturing south to ruins with a dormant teleportation circle, the party discovers a world map with 4 sets of 2 glowing symbols. Their next target is in Locus, within the Titan Sea. This is rather simple, don't you think? I'm joined here today by our players, Mega.
Hello, I am Mega, and I play Eddie, the Otterboy Draton Blaster class. I also play Eddie, as well as any other similarly named character, TBD.
As well as Nita.
Yeah, hi, Nita here. I play Leah Allblock, the human cleric sorcerer.
As well as Rakuzen.
Howdy everyone, I'm Recusant. I play Mavet Soha Fidash, the sap that holds the party together.
And finally, we have our sweet girl Moon.
Hello, my name is Moonmean. I play Seer, the woman that's always on fire.
All right.
Let's party.
I'm sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought that's where you're ending with the short one.
You're good. If I also sound sick while I try to play Seer, then we're good. Don't worry.
All right. Just so I have this on audio, I'm going to quickly inform the audience how we're doing exhaustion. Just so everyone is aware, we're going to be using a homebrew rule with our exhaustion. Instead of exhaustion having 6 levels, it has 10. Each level of exhaustion is applied as a -1 penalty to ability checks and attack rolls. And as the stages increase, so does the penalty. So at level 4, it'd be -4 penalty. At level 6, it'd be -6 penalty. Where we get into the traditional exhaustion is at level 3, when your speed is halved. Level 5, when your hit point maximum is halved. Level 7, when you have disadvantage on all d20 rolls, excluding tables. Level 9, when your speed is reduced to 0. And level 10, the one we're all familiar with, death. Now, let's go into a bit more detail of what happened last session. For a bit of a recap, James Hayes has a affliction called Dragon's Breath pneumonia. It's afflicted by rotten fruit born from the Dragon Egg Islands. The treatment is crystallized frost made into balm and frost root made into poultice. The location of these ingredients is far north to Frostheart, the capital of the Sea Elves, a 12-day journey by boat. After sorting out the party's allegiance, James gave them a blank check to essentially grab what they need. For the party, I'm providing them each one free item and a 50% discount on purchases from the Hayes estate. The party also learns that the Hayes estate is going through some rough times as their imports and exports are being sabotaged, possibly by Genasi apologists. And shell phone communications with the Sea Elves and Frostheart have been severed. The party theorizes that each person they swapped with were involved with the Rebirth Bastion by some degree, with Seer replacing Eric, a constable in charge of investigating the Hayes trade interference, Aluya replacing Lithril, a supposed Genasi apologist protesting the Hayes family, Mavet replacing Penelope, an ambassador of the Sea Elves who was visiting over the communication failures, and finally Eddie replacing his mother, Marianne, who was possibly making deals behind James's back, and made a connection with a captain of the Ink Crows that goes by the name of Valentine. I believe that's everything. Switch up the music a little bit here. Go right ahead.
As far as I know, it actually is as much detail as we could give. We hopefully can cure your father, Eddie.
And it looks like all the signs are pointing to we're going that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
It's our official first side quest. Ding, 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 ding.
I guess when we really want to get technical, there are a bunch of side quests in Cheyenne. It's just that we kind of treated them as main quests.
Mm-hmm. Factual. All right. So I kind of want to imagine, unless you have more to say, Eddie, or the party has more to say, that James has his own personal business to take care of, and that being said, any business that you have on the island is your own to take care of. At the moment, it is currently cresting onto 5:30ish. And I guess I should establish my reasoning for the time here. If you guys remember when you were going to the ruins, it was around 2 a.m. And when you came here, it became 8 a.m. Afterwards, through all the shenanigans and what have you, along with talking to your father, negotiating, and going through a bit of a recap, reconnecting, it approaches 5 o'clock. Talk about the large gap between 2 a.m. and 8 a.m. here. In my head, I just left a bit of a gap for if we ever need to fill in the blanks of what happened at the ruins, if everyone's okay with that.
And so now we go into great detail about the party orgy that occurred.
And we fade to black. All right. So let's switch up the map a little bit here. And let me ask you all, as we get onto this map, what you guys would like to do. You are aware that Marianne had a contact with a captain. Made a connection, I should say. And it seems like there's a lot of interest going along with Frostheart. I would probably set the scene after all of the hubbub, all the crazy talks, everything that... You know what? Fuck it. I would actually go this far unless Mega stops me. Mega, would you say it's too far to have everyone in your bedroom for a moment while everyone's just trying to get their bearings?
Oh, as far as everyone just like huddling up in his room? I mean, there's
Yeah.
space. This is a
Yeah.
mansion.
Yeah. Unless you want to be in the garden or some other scene. I just think it'd just be a very funny and classic thing for you guys within a mansion to be inside his fucking bedroom.
So, like, this is my room. Apologies for the smell. I mean, unless you like it that way.
I mean, it could be cleaner. But
Well, you know, like,
no,
I was kind of in a rush the last time I was in here.
that's why I'm not like criticizing it. Plus, it's not my property. It's yours. So you get to do what you desire. So for the time being, I'm going to take the chance to sit finally. I've been rather busy making a lot of things.
Mavet, Aluya, you guys have been through a fairly rough patch with James's condition. How are you guys acclimating to the manor?
I think Louis just taking in his room. Wow. So this is what the good life is. Alright. Eddie, could I lay on your bed just to give it the feel, you know?
Oh, yeah, no, it's perfectly fine. Like, it's not like you'd be the first guest to sleep in my bed.
Oh. It's all giddy. She gets in the bed, gets the blankets, kind of rolls around a little bit. Oh, it feels so... It's like a cloud.
I would sit in it except for the fact I might burn it.
You see Echo Knight Eddie sitting on the edge of the bed, the form of an elf.
You said in the
Eddie
form of
actually
an
looks at that and actually kind of like sighs outwardly.
So, I have a question for you all, since now we have to figure out one more thing. So, I want to point out something, and that is that I won't be able to no longer disguise myself. And that's a terrible thing, since I'll be, I would say, the equivalent of a human torch running about, and I don't think people like that. Unless I was screaming. But then people would try to put water on me, so I don't think that would work too well.
For Seer, I would say with your current condition and gaining exhaustion when you try to hide yourself, you do have a little bit more leniency to work with. You're not going to die if you do this a handful of times. Yeah, it
True,
sucks.
but
Yeah, it fucking sucks. But I just want to make it clear that if you need to, you can.
Well, and the reason why I said it originally before those because Seer has some context, but basically they remembered the deal with Bogdan being like, you can no longer hide yourself.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, now they got a little taste of it, and they're one of those precautious people where it's like, I could either explore it further and possibly die, or I don't explore it and possibly die. I don't know which. So very much that's kind of why they're going to talk with the party about it, because if they can take the risk, they will try to take the risk, but they wanted to see what their options could be. So
Okay.
that's kind of
We
why
could
they're just saying,
always throw water on them before they throw it on you.
And then I will hug
I-
them.
I appreciate the sentiments, but then you would end up further deeper in the mess. Speaking of which, Aaliyah, you'd be also in the mess, but you don't have as much of issues as I do with how I look. Yet, at least, but
I mean, like, if you really wanted to. I mean, would it count if, like, you just hid in plain sight?
that's
Are
one
we gonna
option.
dress her up as a chandelier?
I think a
I
chandelier
don't want
would
to be
hard
hanged.
to carry around.
I mean, like a walking candle, maybe? But that
Unless
would...
people want me to sit down and become their fireplace, it might be rather hard to make that work.
All right, Miss Lightbulb. As you are sitting on the bed, the threads of the blanket that cover the bed kind of stand on end from the static electricity you're coursing through said bed.
I don't think
Eddie,
putting two to two,
Okay.
she's just rolling around having a good time. Oh, so good.
I also
Clinging
have
to.
another. I love the idea of like Aluya's powers are actually from just rolling into things too much, and it's just the electricity she builds up is just like static electricity.
You're not a genasi, you're just a little klutz.
But Sarah would basically say to Eddie though, I have another alternative, but I don't know if it even would work since Aluya proved that there is a chance of it remembering something since, well, since I killed them. No, I don't. Not them here, but them before. This puts the bag of ash of Aluya in the air. I realized that if it was slain early enough, memories can be preserved. So one way to bypass that is that I figured out what I looked like before I became this. However, that might be hard, but you're the only one I think of that can make that capable of, Eddie.
I guess, like... I guess it kind of depends. Do you think, like... Is it something that you think is locked away or just, like, simply missing?
Yes. That's the thing that makes it a mystery. I didn't have a possible person that can invade person's minds to investigate things. This is something that I have not have considered. So, probably you might figure that out if you jumped into my mind. But honestly, I thought it was all missing, but... Well, with Aluya's resurrection, I could say that maybe not all pieces. That might also apply to every Genasi, unless, well, their other self is still walking around. So that's the advantage I could say that we have here, is that I know mine's not walking around.
You're like, sure it's not walking around?
I am pretty sure because, well, I watched it die as it was being crushed by a glacier that almost crushed me.
So, like, what I'm hearing is it got crushed by a glacier.
Indeed. It was too hot for its own good.
Aaliyah pipes up. The blanket's still around her. Everything is frizzing. So, question. Would you not be an ice genasi?
Technically, would be correct. I was born in the ice, but no.
A genasi.
Nice.
I bet you I know a genasi that would have that name, but I'm not sure.
They probably just, like, make nothing but ice puns. I'm
I think
thinking,
there would be
like... Or maybe, like... Or maybe they just, like, have the name Mr. Frozen.
we probably would be mortal enemies. But I digress. Thing is that, well, like Luya's, it was rather fresh, so I had to run away from mine for it was trying to kill me. And then ran into a glacier, crawled into a spot, it tried to chase me. Couldn't really get to me since it was warped. Melted the ice around it. I thought it was going to kill me, and then the ice collapsed, creating horrible sounds. So, I. It's one reason why I don't like loud noises. It's not something I'm very happy about.
I mean, like, I guess it would be pretty traumatizing to see your own body get crushed by a big chunk of ice.
Actually, it was my first hour of being alive, so first time being reborn. That's how I woke up to. Great way, had to learn how to run.
Well, damn,
But yeah,
that's sad.
I guess, at least as far as your question, like, I guess I could give it a shot.
up to you. That's two options you have: is I hide in plain sight or that.
Um, I'm trying to figure out what kind of check I should ask for before we get too far into this. I'm gonna make this secular to Eddie and Seer because of knowledge with Genasi culture and knowledge. Honestly, like Eddie is getting to the point of getting a PhD on memory science here. Um, I would like to ask you both. Yeah, I'd say a history check would be appropriate here. And I'll offer you both the rolls.
I wait patiently.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll just watch Aaliyah slowly put more holes into the bed as their lightning just like pierces through things.
Hmm. I'll actually make it between history and nature. A dealer's choice. Okay.
That would be a -1, so 19.
-1. Yes, ma'am. That's a 7 from Eddie. All right. So, what's the best way to describe this? So, with your recent revelation with experimenting with Aluya and essentially the birth of Genasi and its undead counterpart, what you have learned is when you destroy the vessel before it awakens, that the Genasi retains their memories. Going a step further with that theory, that train of thought, you have a pit gnawing at you in the middle of your stomach, a cold chill on your flaming body, that you may not have the memories within you anymore. And the flashes of that event, of that glacier slide, that deafening sound, and that corpse. The answer, the memories might be kept in that vessel.
There is
You
one
understand?
problem,
Yeah.
Eddie. I understand. I could turn it into context
Gotcha.
because it makes. I love that idea. I'll just look to Eddie and be like, "There is one problem, though. So whatever memories were lost were recycled usually. So if I don't have them, sadly the corpse would, which means I would have to take you where I was born and also take you where it was left and crushed. Oh, we're gonna have to dig a glacier if we do that."
So
So,
on the agenda we have James giving treatment to James Hayes. We have digging up Sear's corpse. What else do we have for side quests here?
find Aluya true love.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Spreading
Is
my
it
vet
not
spore.
already found?
Mm. Rory blinks. Ding 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 ding. I'm sorry, what the hell was that, Mavet? I didn't hear you.
Spreading my spore.
Yeah, there you go. Mavet, I need to ask, as this conversation is going around, how is the tree man acclimating to the room?
He's just happy that he was able to keep Papa Eddie alive.
Hmm. Okay. Are you interacting with anything in particular within this room? Like anything that's drawing your attention? The bed, Eddie, the Echo Knight?
No, my vet's just chilling by the door. Just
Okay.
has a little bounce in his step because he's thinking Eddie thought he did good, so he's happy and just keeping that to himself.
Mhm. Um, no, actually. Hang on. I'm actually gonna need a wisdom save for that shit.
Oh,
Trying to
Alright,
power
wisdom
game me.
save.
Nope. Hang on. You're doing good. Your insecurities are brushed away. As you do remember, you do have a madness still. Alright. So, I'll throw this in Eddie's ballpark. This is your bedroom. This is your manor. This is your island. How does Eddie organize the plans here?
Well, since you really think that, like... I mean, I guess before I make that, like, conclusion... Do you think, like, you still have a connection with your body? I mean, like, the other one.
I mean, I would say in the sense of fear. I sometimes no, I don't want to lie. I often dream of being chased. So it lives pretty hard in my memories about the glacier and its location.
And piercing blue eyes are very vivid in your mental landscape, as you recall.
I'll say that as well. Perfect. Thank you for reminding me.
I mean, I didn't mean, like, by memory. I meant more like... spiritual. Or magical.
You know, like the only thing I could think of is that it just has a connection with me in the spiritual way, but not in a way that was be connected now. If it was, I don't feel the body. I don't sense it. Think of it as like two new things were created. I, Seer, and whoever that was. It's not exactly a connection that you could get to, but thing is, there's things I don't even know, so my answers are not always correct. If is there a way for you to figure out if there is? As far as I know.
Well, honestly, if you don't, like, already know, then it would mostly just be experimentation. Because I guess, like, if nothing else... Because you probably don't remember where your body is, right?
I know the exact location since, well, right after I left, I was actually picked up rather quickly. It isn't... Funny enough, it's actually not too far from where I used to live. It's actually, I would say, a day's walk away to reach my body since the rolling wave of fire surrounds it.
You mean an hour's walk away from where you used to live?
Not an hour, a day. If it was an hour, I think people would witness a screaming me running around naked.
Oh, sorry, I spaced a bit. So a day's walk away from where you used to live.
Correct.
I mean, unless it moved.
Unless it could move thousands of pounds, tons of ice. I really doubt it can. I was huddled at my spot for a few hours and it went cold, like ash.
So, just to quickly interject here, I personally I need to know the severity of this. How crushed are we talking? We talking like a lower like legs, like the full torso, or like we talking the head's caved in with all this weight?
Think of it as like it had one arm out.
Yep.
Its head was like screaming, and then basically everything else was crushed except for its head and arm.
Okay, that's very good to know. Thank you.
Oh, no, I'm not saying that, like, it got up and walked away. But, like, if it was, like, say, extracted. Because
Oh,
you've
you
been
mean
gone
like
from that spot for a bit.
you are right. I don't know if the chances would be high because I had to crawl my way out. But I feel like the opposite problem would be what would happen. I feel like it'd be buried or more enclosed. If it was extracted, I wouldn't know actually. I wonder who would be interested in extracting it.
Piercing blue eyes gives you chill.
Your spine keeps shaking every time. Are you okay?
I also get haunted by the blue eyes very often. In fact, if I were to give an example, when Aluya bumped into my face, it was glaring at me very deeply.
Wait, hold on. You mean, like, a bit Kublu?
One more time with that question, sorry.
You mean, like, a bit Kublu?
You're gonna see Seer think on that a bit as I just kind of like try to analyze, you know, what you said and then try to like then think on the eyes. Gray, do you think what Eddie says kind of connects?
Hmm. I need to hear the exact wording one more time, Eddie. Sorry.
You mean, like, a bit Kublu?
Hmm. Hmm. I can't give you an answer, here. It's up for you to decide. That is up to you as a player to decide whether Seer gives that weight.
You know, interesting enough, Eddie, that's a question that I haven't really thought of, but possibly yes.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, you know, when we were dealing with the Abiku and Cheyenne, like it was pretty hard to ignore the blue eyes every time that we saw it.
I wouldn't say it's connected with the Ibiku, but in a sense of that same nature. But I could say the same emotional intensity.
You couldn't be
It's
more right, Seer. It is that hunger that you felt with the Biku. Not even the thrill of the hunt, the need for the hunt.
It would fit that nature precisely, Eddie, in a sense of its needs. I can't usually ever figure it out in some ways. It's either it stares at me and I go, what does it want? Or what is it judging me on? I don't know. But I feel like that's actually the closest description that is pretty smart.
I mean, like, I'm mostly bringing it up because, well, whether it's something of the same or like a similar nature, you said that the body was pretty much crushed by like thousands of pounds of ice, but if like that need is like strong enough, it might have given them the strength to get out. Your body might like be wandering around.
That doesn't bring me comfort.
What
But
does bring you comfort, Seer, is you know the exact way to check. I mean, it's available to you all. You guys have a pool to scry with.
yes, the pool.
Hmm.
If we had to check, Eddie, we could check with the pool that we had used a bit ago.
So I guess that would be the longest way, but I guess also the surest way. Considering, like, we can't really go back there for a little bit.
Then, for the time being, maybe then what we should do is practice the hide in plain sight situation.
Well, when I suggested hiding in plain sight, I kind of thought, like, what if your disguise was actually just like that of a street performer?
I don't know how to juggle.
I mean, you wouldn't be a juggler, you'd be like a flame eater.
That could work. I'm just, well, let's just say the truth. I'm not as charismatic as some of you. So I probably would have to work on that.
I mean, you wouldn't have to be a good performer. You just need to look the part, and if nothing else, everyone would just think you're an amateur.
I don't see any other better options. Worst case scenario, I could always use the magic to hide myself or my potions.
So yeah,
Then
but like in long term, that's not like gonna be super healthy for you, so we should maybe try to give the like mundane options a shot.
fair. Sounds like then I'm gonna have to constantly give myself a haircut as part of the performance. With that said, then, might as well make the mundane work.
Okay, how do you go about this?
I prefer the non-flammable way, so I don't burn things all around.
And what is this non-flammable way?
The only thing I could think of is that basically, with Seer, I would basically have to dress up in things that would hide the major areas that would be covered. So, for one,
Mhm.
great, Eddie, you're making Seer have to wear pants.
Pants.
So that's one. I probably would have to change Seer's outfit. So Seer would probably have to get out of their always wearing black outfit that they always wear that's flame retardant.
Yeah, you're within a manor. You have a bunch of money and material at your disposal. Let's fast forward a little bit here, Moo. Like, say you went into the dressing room and you're coming out on a catwalk of sorts to the party. How would you look?
Very baggy clothes that
Okay.
are a lot more of like, I would say, striking to the eye like a clown. Very patterned with white and, I would say, with white and red. Pants to match as well. Seer would have to put away the black boots they would wear and have to wear more like leather style boots.
Hmm.
And then with the fire kind of like presented, they would have their hands out more often. They would actually have their head out with maybe some things covering some little spots like their cheek. And then their hair would probably be more focused as maybe they'll be wearing like a metal hair headband that would make the hair go up like a troll
Okay.
so that it could basically look like a torch.
All right. All right. Yeah, I have a visual of what you're talking about here. And the hair is still active.
Not as like giantly long as it is now, but it's think of it like it's pointing straight up and it's just kind of like flickering about like a little bonfire on a head. I think I have a picture for a perfect way, but yeah, no, basically
Okay.
it's like going for the full like fire performer look.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Okay. All right. With that disguise out of the way, what is
You know,
the
part of me
plan
thinks
of action?
that.
Go. Go right ahead.
Sorry, part of me thinks that what she actually wound up doing was just like a borrowing from from Eddie's wardrobe. Since I imagine most of it has to be flame retardant in some fashion anyway.
Yeah.
In fact,
So,
some of them already smell like ash.
uh,
Come to your own conclusions about that.
yeah, Mavet and Aluya, as this has been going along, you see that Seer is wearing new clothes, like a street performer. Not only do I want to know your reactions, but what do you guys think? What sort of plans or actions do you guys have in mind?
I found the hair. I'll show you on Discord now.
Yeah.
I think that if she's gonna be a street performer, Aaliyah would dress similar to her, so it doesn't seem like it's one random street performer together. It'd be like, hey, we're a troupe, and we're just moving about.
Okay. So what does your disguise look like, Leah? I'll offer you the same thing. Like imagine you have materials and disposable income for this disguise. You go into a room, you come out. What do you look like?
Just I'll put my hair up in like space buns, and then I'll if Eddie has any sort of makeup or can retrieve some, I'll just make my cheeks a bit more rosier, and then like half paint my lips to make them look small, kind of like a doll. And
Yeah,
my
yeah, you're
outfit.
talking about like the half lipstick kind of thing where it doesn't cover the entire lip, but yeah, it makes it
Yeah.
smaller. Yeah, I know what you're talking
Mhm.
about. All right.
And then clothes wise, just some brightly colored like ruffled skirt, and then like a loose top that kind of it's like a deep V, but like it closes with like I don't want to say string, like lace. There we go,
Mm.
like laces.
Okay. All right. For
So, like, what talent are you going for?
Okay, so what I will do? What could I do? Are there balloons? Like, are balloons a thing in this world?
I don't know. We have carriages without horses. We have shells that act as phones. I feel like balloons of all things is where we're going to go a step too far.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
no,
do
you're
think
fine. You're cool. You get some fucking balloons.
I'll be a really bad balloon maker. Like balloon animals and shit.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, like, wouldn't all the balloons just keep sticking to you?
Yes, that would be the trick. Haha, I figured it out. No, but that would be really cool. Thank you for that. I will use it though.
I'm just imagining Aluya just like doing like balloon animals and just like sticking them to the people who asked for them. It's like, here you go.
It doesn't want to go with you. So sorry.
Mm.
Oh no, I mean like I imagine you just like using like a little bit of your static and then like sticking them to the person.
Oh, like put them on their hair, make it stand up. There you go.
Like there's a monkey in your hair, haha.
Yeah.
Okay. Moo.
Sorry,
That's
I'm appropriating
adorable.
your accent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Moo.
Yeah?
When you put on this outfit, you did not feel a wave of exhaustion. Nothing like that occurred. You feel fine.
Mavet
Looks
wants
like-
fancy clothes.
Might as well make a troop.
All right, everybody, we gotta be the Haze troop.
There you go.
Or, and hear me out, the Common Blood Circus.
There you go. I like it. Woo! Roll the credits.
Seer will say though, it's like, hey, it seems like this might work. I'm not feeling the negative effects. Seems like this might work. However, I'm gonna still let you do the talking since hopefully people just ask me to do things with fire. Ooh, I hope they let me eat candles, actually.
People might actually pay you to do that.
Good, because we
You-
need money.
You know what? I will take some candles with me, and then if they do offer to pay me to eat the candle that's on fire, I will.
If you guys want to do like a
That's-
small circus to earn money, you guys can.
You'll accept? Dude, we're struggling. It's a struggle bus financially.
Yeah. You guys can. It's always has been and always will be an option. If we just want to do a circus campaign, I can make that happen.
I guess you could always like, because some people would also pay you to like melt candle wax on them, but I'm not sure how down you'd be for that.
No. At least, not in public. That sounds rather strange.
Oh no, you'd do that at well, one of the specialty clubs.
I don't know if anyone would do it casually, though. Like, Aaliyah, would you want me to pour hot wax on you?
Will that make us more money?
Hang on, let me grab a little bit of cash here. I got some gold. Role play.
No, I
So-
mean like you'd go to one of the BDSM clubs. You'd make a killing there.
Well, I mean, I'm not even sure what we've been eating lately, but money is tight.
Well, yesterday we ate everything that was in the fridge.
Well, sure, because we're here, and you know your family makes what's the word? Cheddar. Is that how the kids say it?
Well, we do have a lot of expensive cheeses.
Yes, I know. I had some smoked Gouda. That was good.
Gobsy's been feeding you the last couple times before you guys sent him off on his journey to become the world's greatest chef. Afterwards,
Yes,
you are
that's what
in
I
a
was referring
manner.
to, but
Yeah.
I liked Louis.
And
I forgot about Cubsy.
Gobsy, you forgot about Gobsy.
Gopsy wants to be famous chef one day, and now Gopsy has confidence to go and seek it out, pursue dream.
Yeah, but other than that, we can say again a fair amount of time did pass here. That an hour or half an hour was spent eating. I mean, you guys are in a state, and money is of no issue. It's a luxury. It's probably the best couple days you guys have had so far.
I will say, though, I think Seer would be satisfied with the disguise. Not sure about the candle thing yet. I don't know. They're gonna ask Aaliyah a lot of questions, be like, is this normal? Why would people want to have this thing or that? But you know.
Look, I'm just going to leave a business card on the table. You don't have to take it, but just know that it's there.
Well, seems like we're about to roll. Wait a minute, Mavet. Aren't you getting dressed too?
Yeah, I want to wear fancy clothes. I haven't ever worn clothes, so I feel left out. You guys
I don't
can't
know.
have all the cool stuff and me not have any. That's not fair.
I don't know. Do you want to wear a suit or something?
Why am I getting deja vu like this happened before?
Where's the closet?
Hang on, I'm not going crazy. I swear to God, my vet has wanted to wear clothes before, and Mega's response was, "Do you want to wear a suit?" I swear to fucking God.
I mean,
Oh.
this group, not this specific group, but you know, the during the what I'm going to call the Cobalt era, it's
Yeah.
everybody dressed up.
Yeah, I remember that. I'm not gonna forget about Cobalt's huge schlong going through the tailor and the BBEG going, "Holy shit, you're packing heat." That'll live rent free in my head for years to come. I'm sorry.
Well, regardless if
we're
it
going
happened
with this, my
before,
vet.
it's happening now. So,
Yeah, my bad. Sorry. Go ahead.
Mavet wants to pick out. So Mavet just goes into the closet and can I roll a 1d100? Or the closer to 1, the more unput together I come out.
Yes.
Versus the closer to 100, the most prim and proper person ever.
Actually, before you even make that roll, I'm going to have you make one roll beforehand. And it is going to be an insight roll.
Long check.
Going to be an insight roll for fashion. All right,
Is
you lucky
Mavet
bastard.
going to change?
Roll me a 2d100. You're taking the better result.
Oh
So
boy.
you're rolling at advantage.
Whoa.
See what we got. We got 59 and 61. 61, you actually look the clothes that you picked actually look better than most people that try to dress fancy. Now, how that looks on a tree is all up to you. How does this actually look good?
So I'm imagining Mavet found a really good looking suit. It's all very nice, but it wasn't quite his size. So the shoulders are ripped and the pants only go down slightly below his knees. But it's a very, very nice suit.
And
Mavet?
I'll throw the ball into Mega's court once more, since this is your wardrobe. What's the actual colors like? What does this suit look like?
I'm actually trying to think like what colors would
I was
best
assuming purple.
suit. Hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, purple came to my mind first too.
Colors purple rain.
Well, I would say like
rain.
Sorry, go ahead, Mega, with your purple rain.
well, I mean what I was going to say is that between like because I imagine like some of the things in Eddie's clothes like a wardrobe are clothes that Eddie wears and clothes that were put into his closet in hopes that he would wear it, by you know what I mean? Uh so that's why I was like leaving it up to Malvet as far as like whether he would have like picked from basically the suits that his parents hoped that he would just one day decide to wear and the ones that he uh generally actually wore.
Yet, I'm kind of imagining with Mavet, and Mavet, please tell me if I'm going too far, that actually leans closer to Eddie's actual casual, well, I should say casual attire. The clothes that he would actually wear. Am I wrong with that assumption on Mavet?
Yeah, his goal would be to kind of draw inspiration from Eddie, but him thinking if Eddie was a super fancy man.
All right, in
So
which
I
case,
think
like,
that might lean more towards what his parents would want, because he's not a fancy person.
in which case, then you probably would have been picking more from, I would say either black, ashen gray, or kind of like a, um, uh, maybe like a third option of mine, like maybe something closer to like a navy blue sort of situation.
Okay. Now that we have an
Which
entire
of
troop,
those three do you think you would have picked up?
We're gonna go with the ash and gray, so it
There
kind
we
of
go.
blends in with my skin or my bark.
bark. Well, bark and no bite. Well, we have an
There's probably
entire troop now.
I mean, there would
Go ahead.
probably be a variant where you would, since you did roll as high as on insight as you did, you probably like picked one that is like close but also contrasting enough to not like completely blend in.
Mavet
So-
looking good.
Mavet could be a fashion designer. Honestly, that could be your backup gig. All right.
Well,
Hmm.
if Seer is doing fire and maybe candle tricks, and I am going to attempt balloon animals, what is your thing, Mavet?
God damn it.
Mavet can become many. And make many.
All right, like, what if I just made you? Actually, no, this could work. As Eddie like goes over like to his dresser area and like fishes something out or fishes a few things out until he pulls out 3 pins and attaches them to like each person's clothes. While we're all on the island, this might make things easier anyway. It's, as everyone essentially has gotten a golden I want you to imagine like a pin with like a very fancy looking H. Uh it's like a like pinned to their clothes.
Yeah, kind of like the map lettering. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
As far as everyone on the island is concerned, you're employed by the Hayes estate. But Mavet, what if like since you've decided to Oh, I didn't know that I didn't have that in my closet. Uh but you kind of look like somebody who could be either a manager or a guard.
Ooh. I think I met a manager when I was making that one man happy. They brought us coffee and tea. Do I get to carry coffee and tea?
You You could carry candles for people to throw if I have to eat them.
I mean, like, if people ask you, like, what do you do? You can just say that you make a lot of connections, right? Managers make a lot of connections with people and hire people to work for them.
Mavet is the manager of the guard.
Oh, and say that you're the head bodyguard.
And Mavet scratching his head. Mavet is a head bodyguard.
Plus, it kind of makes sense because most of the bodyguards I ever had as a kid, well, or excuse me, I'm gonna walk that sentence back a second.
Yep.
It's, uh, it's, uh, it's like when after a few certain things happened when I was a pup, if I went out into public with anybody, they usually wore suits.
When did you change into otter?
I was thinking the same thing with pup.
No, like, cause like when a otter is young, they're called pups.
Otters are interesting.
But yeah, after maybe the third or fourth time I was kidnapped, the mom and pops thought it would be better if I traveled around with other people while I was still young. Not necessarily for my own safety, but for everyone else's.
Well, Mavet will make sure nobody pup naps you.
I think they'd have a harder time nowadays, but I appreciate that, Amavet. Bruh.
You're welcome. Bro.
Although in which case you do gotta start practicing your mean face. If you're gonna be a head guard, you gotta like look the part, you know? You got the clothes, now you just gotta like practice the face.
You know what that means, Gray?
Go ahead.
I need a role to practice.
All right, we'll do. You're trying to look intimidating, or are you trying to
Yep.
be performative? Okay.
No, I'm trying my hardest to look mean.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's all.
How'd I do, Eddie?
You look adorable. I don't think I've ever seen a cute tree before. But here I am.
They will never expect me now.
Okay.
Although
We yeah. I'm sorry to interrupt here, but we have an entire troop. You guys are dressed up as street performers. What is the actual plan here? Where are you guys intending to go? Well, yes, Mega, you can finish up your thought.
I was just gonna say like maybe when you try to like be intimidating, maybe bring out some of that smoke stuff to help you out.
Will do.
But anyway, as he's just kind of like looking outside the window for a general time frame.
5 o'clock, or 5:30 specifically. Sun's still in the air.
Well, I'm not sure what you guys are going to be doing, but I am probably going to go to one of the, well, I guess like start bar crawling on the coast.
Not everyone at once, please.
Well, I was going to
Doing
say,
a
it's
show
like,
here.
I mean, in my case, I feel like it'd be wiser to join you since I can't exactly go back to being Eric. I have to kind of go where it's safer, and you know this town better than I, so I probably would join you.
Yeah, I dress like this to look like Sir, so we look like a group. So yeah, I'm going to stay together.
Well, you see, here's the thing. Like, I was actually hoping that since, your situation's more or less, like, covered now, uh, that maybe you could use your street performing stuff as, like, a way to get information in some other parts of the city. Especially, like, rumors and stuff.
I mean, it also would help because I know that having multiple ears can help find rumors, especially if we're trying to find contact or even ways to get to where we need to go.
Yeah, the reason why I'm going bar crawling is because it's right around that time when those on the docks are getting off of work for the day. And it seems that I need to have a conversation with Captain Valentine before Pops does.
Then I think us coming will also help serve a little bit to see his recon as well, because the thing is, I also know that if I see a Genasi, I could spot them pretty quick based off of little trends in theirs. I wouldn't guess I'd be the only one disguised there, if there's ones hiding about.
Well, yeah, that's kind of why I thought street performer would be a good fit for you, because I imagine there are a lot more Genasi that hide in plain sight than people realize.
Then, if they see one, they'll definitely come towards one.
In fact, if there's at least enough separation, maybe someone might try to recruit you, since they don't necessarily know who you are specifically. Same thing with you, Aluya, if, like, you at least keep it at least a little bit obvious what you kind of sort of are now.
Mhm.
Just, like, try to be cool, though. We don't want to scare them off.
What do you mean? I'm like super chill.
Aluya, you've been, like, hugging that pillow for, like, the last 10 minutes and rocking back and forth.
Well, you had years with this bed. I've had, what, an hour, two? It's amazing.
At least
I
you could sit
mean-
in a bed, Aluya.
I mean, I could tell you something that would make you want to get out of it, but
What is wrong with the bed?
oh,
Echo Knight
nothing's
Eddie
wrong with
stares at you.
Nothing's wrong with the bed specifically. It's just, it is right around the last place where I saw my ex.
Echo Knight Eddie, one of the eyes dim, almost as if it's winking.
I don't like what you just did with your face. I don't.
Kill.
For no reason unrelated, I'm going to get up.
Okay. I'm gonna need something from the party. Keep in mind, this isn't consecutive. Well, back to back, I should say. But I am gonna require 2 rolls. Both them wisdom saves.
Gosh,
Okay.
this is my first roll today. Jesus. Oh, bad.
Okay.
I'm just waiting. I gotta make sure someone didn't just roll away before I do Flash of Genius, but I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Is this a new one?
Yeah, that one thing I did for get was query. Let me send you one more roll.
Wait, I have to re-roll my wisdom?
Oh, is it
Hold
just
on.
for the...
Hey, everyone hold on to that second roll. Oh,
Already
before
rolled
my
one.
bet. Just yeah, I see that. Don't worry. But Eddie, you do see the wisdom save, correct?
Oh, I'm on the wrong tab. My bad.
Hmm.
Well, not tab. Window.
Yep.
Why does that keep opening?
Mm-hmm.
I do see it. Yeah.
Okay. Please make me your first wisdom save.
I have a feeling I know what this is for, but
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
Do
Let me
my
get
second
the
one, right?
Yeah. Oh, hang on. So I can gather everyone's first rolls here. That's 24 for Mavet, 14 for Seer, Aluya, that's 22, and Eddie, that's 8. So let's see, just make sure I got this right. Mavet, you got a 14. Seer is a 4. Aluya is a 12. And Eddie is way in the negatives. Okay. Everyone failed.
Huh?
guys, we know what this is.
Hush your mouth, child. But yes,
I got a 16, not a 14.
This is the first set of rolls. Don't worry, I'm going to get to your second roll here. With your 24, it turned into 14. And let me give you guys the specific time frame when this happened. Again, I just want to stay consistent with this. This happened before you guys teleported around the ruins. I would like just a quick small flashback of what you guys did. Did you guys stay within the area? Did you guys try to withdraw? Did Seer do a rope trick?
Yeah, Eddie would have basically done like the same process that he did before, where it's just like
Yeah.
the minute he knew that it was there,
Hmm.
it's like he would have gone into his room.
Yep. You were with the group, and you would have been able to communicate that message. Eddie goes to his room. The other three, you guys are. You guys understand that you are being watched within that 30 seconds, that a minute that it took just to realize what's happening and what's going on. What does the rest of the party do?
Well, Mavet would have been prone on the ground getting ready for the bar crawl.
Okay. Just to re-emphasize, treat it like it was 8 a.m. before you guys teleported within the ruins. Treat this as a small flashback. I'm just trying to understand everyone's order of operations here.
I would say if we did before we teleported away,
Yep.
honestly, Seer would probably be still being busy trying to fix little things here and there in the armor sets with their all-purpose tools,
Yep.
or try to work with a gem that they might think would be next to make Rascal 2.37.
Okay. So you make no attempts to hide.
Why hide?
Okay. Aluya and Mavet.
Yeah, I don't think I would make any attempts to hide. I would
Yes, ma'am.
probably be either trying to help Seer in some way, or if not, take the downtime and sit and contemplate and reflect and try to seek some mental wisdom from Aola somehow.
Okay. Mavet.
Mavet would have been laying prone waiting for the bar crawl.
This is before you even knew there was a bar crawl.
Ah, yeah.
This was a day ago before we even teleported.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I left that early in that session. Mavet would have been talking to the red and blue goblins,
Okay.
trying to trade some wares.
Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Within that same day, I'm going to give you guys one more set of wisdom saves here. We're going to have fresh new rolls so I don't go insane here. So everyone make me one more wisdom save.
I mean, I feel like some of us might as well not bother.
No, just trust me. I'll explain in a second here.
Look! I ruined it by not being 9. I was
Okay.
8. Oh.
Seer, Mavet, Aluya, Edward. Okay, so Seer, you got a 16. Mavet, you got a 18. Aluya, you got 20, and Edward, you got 16. I believe everyone passes. You all feel that familiar grasp around you, yet it feels different, as it doesn't have a strong connection to any of you, and it dissipates. This happens around right now. So 2 different times. One in the morning and one in the evening. Or late afternoon, coming evening.
I mean, I would actually have to ask, like,
Yes, sir.
does this feel different in a good way or a bad way?
Hmm. The information that I can give you is it just feels different. It does not feel like the same individual. As the most I can give you.
Oh, okay, I know what the first one is, and I think I know what the second one is. All right.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, that second one's fine. So, actually, kind of. Well, honestly, both are fine. At least.
Yeah. At this moment, you guys are fine.
But yeah, in which case, like, Eddie would probably change into like a fresh set of like casual clothes.
All right.
Maybe, oh yeah, like take a bath and then fresh set of casual clothes. So,
Okay.
well, is like everyone ready to go?
Hope you don't mind if I stole all your candles from your candelabras.
I mean, candles are pretty cheap.
we're just gonna pretend that I'm doing something very impressive eating this, where in reality, it's one of the rare times where I can engorge myself.
I hope that doesn't, like, cause indigestion or something.
You might be surprised, a lot of fire genasies really do enjoy candles.
Oh no, I just
Then
mean,
again,
like, a lot of, like, wax buildup, you know?
I could tell you all about the, metabolism that I have, but then I had to go into nitty-gritty details. All I could say, it just melts away. But lead the way.
Alright then.
All right.
And so, yeah,
Is
Eddie
the
leads
party
them out
leaving
the
the
estate.
state? Okay.
Yep.
You get to the gate, and you see a guard reading a book.
Hey, bruh.
Huh? And turns around. No. Hello, young Master Hayes. Gives a curt bow. Leaving
How
already?
you doing tonight?
Oh, it's fine of you to ask. Oh, the missus has been missing me, and oh, my sweet daughter. She's been having a little bit of a heartache over my condition. A little bit of a cough. But I'm strong as an ox. I can keep going.
It's like, have the doctor said anything?
Oh, they're nothing but quacks. And he does a little bit of a hobble over to the gate. Yeah, nothing to worry about, young master. Mm-hmm.
Well, just letting you know that, like, even though you haven't used it yet, we do have a pretty comprehensive health plan.
Yeah, that's what's been getting me clerics at my doorstep. Mm-hmm. And the gate screeches as it opens, and he gives you a little bit of a nod. You see a little bit of a bulge in his bottom lip, like he's chewing something. He looks at all of the party, squints his eyes, and just goes, "Eh, excuse my language, young Master Hayes, but what the fuck am I looking at here?"
Like, oh, just like looking over. They're wanting to do some street performing.
Uh-huh. That's so.
It's easier if everyone thinks they're performers. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like stand-up comedy. They tell jokes, right? Tell me something. Tell me something funny. And he looks over towards the tree man.
Something funny.
Not very good at this.
Well, he's still branching out.
Gives you a smile. Well, looks like the young master has a talent too.
But, like, Hope you have a good night.
I got that joke, Eddie.
Just the delayed response.
I know. I love that. Oh, what the fuck were you saying, Micah?
Well, I hope you have a good night and say hi to the girls for me.
I can do. And he begins to hobble back over to his book. It's nearly finished. And yes, you guys begin to walk down the estate, going down a winding hill. Now, Mega, just refresh our minds about the first impression a person would get walking into this town. Give me the smell, the general shape. Give me what they would hear. Let me hear the five senses here.
So yeah, it's like I said, the more I like coming into it, like especially as you get closer to the center, it is something more of a small cityscape with streets and a bit of hustling and bustling. Uh, there is as you'll recall um uh pretty much from anywhere because of how tall it is. Uh, everyone could see the Commerce Building, uh, no matter where that
Hmm.
you're at. It's but it's the it's due to their well being on an island, but also in proximity to the coast. There is a a salty sweet, a sort of a scent in the air.
Hmm.
Since it is actually remind me kind of the day night cycle. Would it be around this 5:30 ish area? Are we approaching sunset or?
Yeah. Yeah, we're approaching sunset. I would say within the hour, the sun will crest over the horizon and fully set.
Hmm. It's, then yeah, it's maybe not necessarily to their full intensity yet, but there are sort of street lights starting to either be lit or the main ones being activated, depending on uh it's where they're being uh turned on from slash lit from. uh the It's some parts are quieting down for the evening, the if they haven't already, they're the bakeries are starting to close up shop, but then others as they're going through the street, mainly the nightlife is starting to pick up in other districts of the spot. And then probably as we're getting closer to the coast, it's most notably because I imagine that's where the where a lot of the pubs have decided to line themselves, that is getting more active as dock workers are getting off for the evening.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd probably say most of the nightlife is probably around in the same area, but it's but it extends a little bit further toward in the coastal area, just so it becomes basically more a closer to a line when we're coming to the pubs that specifically tailor themselves to that sort of clientele.
Yeah, I kind of want to imagine as you guys are walking down the sidewalk, and we see you mentioned that The carriages, they don't have horses, and they're oddly silent. Was that right?
Yes.
Yeah, as we see like horseless carriages going down the street, we do see like a an elven woman with her child holding hands, walking down the street, approaching the party, and you see like the little girl pointing at the party, uh, mainly like yeah, you know what? Everyone besides Eddie is catching her attention, and you see the elven woman hushing, like the child, and basically redirecting her eyes elsewhere. As they come to pass, you do hear the little girl just going, "But they're weird. What are they doing? Hush. Look away. Be respectful." And they keep minding their business, walking by. But yes, unless you guys have any detours, you guys would make your way to. You said the coast. Was that correct?
Yeah, it's like, because like as I'm kind of like imagining it in my brain, like there is a section of the coast that again like dedicated to like like pubs and like general like nightlight stuff, and then like another set of the coast is like dedicated to like more, mostly because like then it makes it easy to get to the nightlife if you want to. It's like as also like where they put like the ocean resorts and like the other like more
Yeah,
touristy vacationy stuff.
yeah. I imagine a lot of docks, like a lot of docks, a lot of sandy beaches, a lot of openings for like a beach play. Like it, I do imagine the resort here, and I don't know. Would you say like these line up on these pubs line up on docks right next to the water, or are you suggesting there's a bit of distance with like sand in between?
Um, I would say I would say they would probably be right up on the docks just because
Okay.
uh like mostly because I feel like trying to like model your business like too close to the actual sands might lead to like structural problems. Uh
Hmm.
like down the line. Plus it's again just a lot more convenient like business wise just be right there next to like your primary clientele if your pub is trying to directly like appeal to like dock workers and like other like seagoing professionals.
Hmm. Okay. Um. Yeah.
Or at
So.
the very least, there would be some that would put themselves there, and then like there might be others that uh maybe would have put that distance if they're like trying to like basically uh like there's the set that's like it's like, hey, come here if you're thirsty sort of situation, like, and then like maybe do lunch. It's like but then like there might be ones that are like more distant that are like themed around the idea and like might serve as like a refuge for those that are looking to actually get away from the docks for a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of want to imagine like as we're going down these docks, the camera following the party. Not only do we have that salty air, we have that strong smell of liquor. And you know what? Just for shits and gigs, because I also imagine a nearby resort have a little bit of cuisine. I want to imagine like we do smell like cooked fish and some the equivalent of deep fried food in this world, like just wafting into the air. And as you guys walk around, hmm, Trying to figure out whether I want this to be a perception or insight check. Yeah, insight check, because I want you guys to sense the mood. So I'll offer the roll to everyone here. Hang on. Alright, and it'll be insight. Go. Want an insight check from everyone. Wow. It's 19 from Mavet, 2 from Seer. Eddie has having a 6. Just getting into the vibes. And I believe Seer walked away for a second. No? Okay.
Great.
Yep. Okay, no. I'm following along here. And 11. Okay, Mavet, actually. You're going to be the one to really notice this. Like, through the revelry, in the sounds of sailors singing like a few shanties while a few pints in, you feel an odd stir within the air. And as you look around, your eyes lay upon a group of a handful of individuals minding their own business at one of the pubs within the bar at the counter. What they have in common is each one of their hands are dyed crimson. You notice that they're not really getting into the festive mood that everyone else is getting into. And when people come close, they usually are quickly shooed away.
Okay, Mavet will lean over to Eddie and whisper to him. It seems like those people with the bloody hands we need to keep an eye on them. I will take guard.
Since it's being pointed out, Mega, I will offer you a history check at advantage because of your connections. Purely for Eddie, because no one else would be privy to this information. Okay, you are familiar with these type of people. It's been from the last year, this organization has been on the rise, especially with some underhanded deals. And they've been making, I hesitate to say the word connections with your family, but your family has been doing business with them. They're known as the Crimson Fists, and they operate within the capital of Giuliano. Essentially, like your father uses them as a means to export goods within the capital. They are high-value clientele that keeps your family afloat.
Oh, I wouldn't worry too hard about them. It's, I mean, all things considered, like...
Oh my god. I'm sorry to interrupt you. But that roll is actually high enough for you to know, because I forgot something important with this party would be related to this figure. You're also aware that their a boss who goes by the name of Asmodai has a spectral kobold as a parrot that lays on their shoulder. Which kind of gets a couple gears rolling with recent events of a blue kobold being on the search. Or being on the search for a blue kobold.
It's like actually probably like mid-sentence. He kind of like pauses for a moment, like... Actually, like... I'll need to remind myself to talk with their rep later.
it's it's so funny because I it just occurred to me that's what you both settled on, like during the end of the first campaign. That you guys are intrinsically linked.
Like, it's possible that their boss might know where to. Looking over to Aluya specifically, might be able to find the little cobalt we're searching for.
Oh,
So,
oh, the dragon.
side quest number 3 that we forgot about.
Ah,
Well, it's not that we forgot about it.
I
Yeah.
forgot about it.
I didn't.
I
It's
need to
just-
actually fucking write that down.
It's my other ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
Okay. I will.
But don't worry though. We have good business relations with them. It's I don't think it would be too big of a stretch to possibly schedule a meeting later, or at least some kind of meeting at a later time.
Okay.
Although, maybe don't engage with them if you don't have to. They can be a little. What's the word I'm looking for?
A head bangs across the table or at the bar from one of the Crimson Fists taking on an onlooker that was getting a little too cozy with them. You see a tooth rattle onto the ground.
Hands on.
That's fucking good. Inspiration. That was fucking good. That got me.
Oh, delightful. Okay.
Oh, fucking hell.
Although I guess gotta give them some kind of a break, cause the last, the place that they called their home, kinda sorta drowned.
Tile place went under?
The details are a bit sketchy, but have you heard of Giuliano?
Out of character. Have she heard
Okay.
of Giuliano? I would assume it's if it's a seashore.
Oh, hang on. Let me specify something here. Giuliano is not only the name of the capital, it is the name of the country that you guys have found yourselves in for a majority of this campaign. Everyone is familiar with it. It is common knowledge.
Okay.
The name of
I honestly wasn't sure
Drogeport.
what was common knowledge.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. Towards Drogeport, you're on the right track. You are familiar with a lot of the information.
Okay. I'll rephrase that a bit.
Yeah, go right ahead.
It's well, they used to be based in Drogeport, but that place kinda figuratively and literally went under.
So they're homeless doing
Well, no, not
business
homeless. They
elsewhere?
relocated.
Ah,
But I think they're still a little bit sore about the fact that they had to rebuild after that whole thing.
I guess I could understand that. I mean, I would be really upset if my home was not there anymore.
I mean, for a extra legal organizations, it's kind of a sore spot when they lose a bunch of resources.
Mm-hmm.
And I will throw you a bit of a bone here, Mega, as a bit of information that you can have at your disposal. I believe you'd also be privy to the Jade Hand Syndicate as a form of competition that the Hayes family has been going against. And in the recent year, like, it seems like there's been a collapse. Competition is no longer a thing. You guys have free reign on the underground market. More importantly, Mega, you would be familiar with the leader to a certain extent because of the connection with the Crimson Fist, which is a changeling with a jade ring.
I mean, like, there was another, like, pretty big organization operating out of there, but it's like it seems that for whatever reason, they went more quiet.
Like they stopped, or they're trying to be like really sneaky now, and like they're on the hush with the activities.
I mean, like, I think honestly both applies here. One of them, I mean, like, their leader at least is somebody that the world government would be very interested in getting a hold of.
Good to know. So I will keep an eye on them for maybe before we leave and stuff. We have a chat with them, but you also have something to do now as well, right? You business bar crawl.
It's like, well, if I just understand seafaring folk in general, after work they go to the pubs for a bit, so I'm imagining this Captain Valentine does the same thing. But just to be sure and to make this a little faster, Eddie is going to attempt to sort of like refine that connection again to see if like if at least it feels like he's like getting
Yeah.
closer or if they're like far off.
Yes, and I will give you a little bit of information on that, Mega. But before we completely end that topic, there's just one thing I want to tie up, and that's specifically with Aluya. Aluya, with this casual conversation with Mega, or not Mega, Aluya, with this casual conversation with Eddie, a few things do pop into your head. Two very specific things pop into your head that are recent. They're burned into your memory. And that is the symbol of a diamond and the ring of jade.
The ring, yes.
Yes, both of those are very, very strong symbols that relate to Drogport and an individual within Drogport who you can label as the Jade Hand. But yeah.
Yeah, that's still like my only small lead on
yes,
this
but
person.
again, it is a lead though. It's more than what you had before.
Right.
But yes, towards you, Mega. Like much like a sonar, we see that ping. And it's not coming from within any of the pubs, but is around in the area. Possibly within, I hesitate to say alley. But yeah, that's the best word I can find to describe it. One of the crevices in between these buildings.
I mean, like, they're called alleys. It's like
Yeah, well, yeah, I know they're called alleys. It's just like whenever I say alley, like the strong imagery I come up with is, you know, like stonework and asphalt. But yes, Yeah, within these alleys on the docks, like we would see like a ping for the captain.
I wonder if he's doing business right now. Or getting down to business.
Mm-hmm.
If you know what I mean.
Before we move on here, I'm gonna need a bit of yeah. I'm gonna need some dexterity checks from everybody because, like, as you guys are going through these docks, we're seeing an influx of crowds. Like, it's getting more and more populated, and just people are coming and going, not caring where they're going. But it seems like Eddie, Mavet, and Seer are sticking together so far, along with Aluya. Congratulations, no one gets separated. We see like a bunch of sailors walking through, trying to weave their way through your group, but you guys remain stalwart and stick together, getting lost or wasting any time here. But yes, you can easily pinpoint where the man is, Mega.
All right. It's like before he moves any further, just like, so like, not to draw too much attention, but how many of us actually want to go directly together?
Well, I thought that you were the one that had the thing to do, and we were supposed to do our thing and try to gather information or be spies and look at people and watch them and stuff.
So yeah, that was the idea.
And we can stick to the plan.
I'm planning to stick with it regardless.
So, what about you, Mavet?
Mavet is manager of head guard. I guard you, Eddie.
On guard.
Oh, you can just call yourself the head guard. Head is a similar word to manager.
Okay. Head, manager, same. Got it. Can I go with you?
I keep giving the player fuel.
Yep.
Alright, which case, Seer and Aluya, you, I guess, start practicing? Question mark? And
Well, no, go on, finish it. I could hold my thought.
And I guess if anything happens, we can get in contact with each other, right?
Yep.
Right.
Although at some point I need to see if I can get a shell phone for one of you. But that's a later thing.
Maybe I could learn to make one. We'll see.
Yes, you can.
You'll definitely need my help for that, but we'll cross that particular bridge when we get there.
Yes, Seer. Yes, you will.
That will be fun.
Bonding time. Yeah, do you guys go into the
Now,
alley?
excuse me.
Yeah, in which case Eddie would start like making his way toward that particular alley / crevice.
Okay. And how many people are following you exactly? Because you made it sound like there's going to be a slight performance in front of this alley, or is everyone just shadowing you, following your footsteps?
I think it's just Eddie and Mavet going into the alley
Yeah.
crevice, and
Okay.
the other two
Yeah.
are like performing in the street semi nearby.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, you guys
We're performing
entered.
so we don't die.
Yeah. Eddie and Mavet enter into the alleyway, and I am going to need a performance check from the girls standing in front of the alley.
Hold on, because I would see it. Let us get our ducks in a row. What if we make up a little routine so we don't look stupid?
Okay.
I already have the thing, and no, it's going to be candles in a row. You have to
Okay.
sing the song.
Okay.
All right.
Before you
song you
before
want
you
me to
girls
This
make
really
the roll,
quick.
before you girls make the roll, I guess I should ask an important question. Is one person doing the act and the other person helping, or are there two separate acts happening at once?
I mean, if I'm the one doing candle or fire eating and all this stuff, I need someone to light the fires.
Okay.
Louis can do it with their lightning.
Is that what you're gonna do, Luia? Or are you
I'll
gonna make
assist.
balloons? Okay.
I'll make balloons if I'm requested, but if no one's asking me, I'm not gonna attempt to make no goddamn balloon.
Okay.
It's just that they're going to
Seer,
be covered in balloons.
Seer, roll with advantage.
All right, before I do that, I do want to finish this. Olivia has to sing this where it's very much the goal. You got to say, I got a lovely bunch of candles. There
I've
they
got
are,
a
all
lovely bunch
standing in a
of
row.
candles. Yeah.
Big ones, small ones, some as thick as your head.
Well, that was like a lot of words. Hold on a second. Let me write this down or something.
Give them a flick or a twist with your wrist.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
see it. You're giving me too much
Hell yeah.
credit. Simplify this for me.
Okay, let's see. Just say the first part. That I got a lovely bunch of, candles. They're all in a row.
All in a row.
Big ones, small ones, some as thick as your head.
Big ones, small ones, some as thick as your head.
Are you actually writing this down?
You better believe it.
Okay.
Look in the
Now, I
notes.
was gonna say, it's like... Now, since you can't really remember too much, I was gonna say, watch me swallow them whole. But
Hell yeah.
Giggity.
we'll see if that will entertain people.
Watch
Yeah.
me swallow them whole.
I'm just imagining now creepers off in the audience, just like, okay, now more slowly, slower.
All right.
Too
okay,
fast.
I've got it.
Okay.
Okay.
Seer,
Let me see.
okay, hang on. Let's not get carried away here. First, roll with advantage, Seer. Then I want you to describe the performance in detail. Then I want Aluya to sing.
Yeah.
Oh, lucky duck. That'd actually be
Beautiful.
15.
It's a 17.
Okay, you already included
Oh
negative
yeah, it would
one.
be a
Gotcha.
15.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
and
it's, yeah,
lastly,
gotcha.
just to make it so that Aaliyah's singing will be a lot more fun, it
Yep.
will be with a flash of genius, so that's a 21.
Okay, 21. All right. Let me paint the picture for the performance. Then I want to hear how Luya is assisting you. Then I want to hear the song.
Alright, basically, Seer will spin around in a circle, letting the hair really flare up into higher. And then you just see Seer holding a bunch of candles in their hands. Big ones, small ones, thick ones, thin ones. And with very much joy, we'll put them by their head to make them softer, and then they will begin to eat them, swallow them whole, whatever it is necessary to bring people's eyes over. Maybe make some coins here and there.
Yeah.
But as, Seer is basically devouring the candles, Aluya would be handing these candles side to side. And very much, Seer's just making a big show of it, where it's like, nobody, why would someone eat a whole candle, you know? And then Seer maybe would pretend to have a candle on their tongue with a little flame on it.
Yep. I'm going to be going the Vanna White route here. I'm going to be presenting the candle, showing it to everybody, taking a stroll around Seer and handing it off to her, kind of flourishing what she's doing, give a little curtsy, and try and gauge the crowd's reaction, if there is any.
Yeah, so you guys are drawing like a crowd of sailors, all of them drunk. You see their faces rosy red and like a little bit of a sway. And you see one person in particular just going, "Oh my god, they look like fucking Genasi. So good makeup. I know. And you begin to like get like a little bit of applause, and people are starting to throw in copper pieces and silver. Now, Aluya, let me hear the song.
Jeez. I'm sorry to everyone's ears. Here we
Yeah,
go.
do it.
Well, we're gonna do this a little differently. So she's gonna kind of hike up her skirt because it's like long and it's ruffled, and she's gonna move about side to side, and she's gonna be like, "I've got a lovely bunch of candles, all in a row." Do 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 do, and then she moves. Big ones, small ones, some as thick as your head. Watch me swallow them whole. And then she'll pop out a candle for Seer to eat.
Okay.
And then Seer proceeds to eat it. This is basically like everybody else is like, that's impressive, where Seer is very much like, I'm just having fun playing with like Doritos or something like that.
30 copper, 10 silver. And like as you are all getting into it, you hear hoots and hollers and a few wolf whistles from the crowd.
Seer enjoys Aluya dancing around.
Yeah, and I feel like this is a bit of a surreal feeling as you are within this crowd performing in front of everyone. Just being who you are.
I still won't forget that how dangerous it is for me still.
Yeah, I want to hear like in both your heads, like although you're treating this crowd like one wrong step, one wrong move in this happy crowd turns into a deadly mob. Like what's the undercurrent on each one of your characters? Like what are your feelings? What are your thoughts? Just being within public and doing this performance in front of everyone.
Be honest.
I know, and Seer. Oh, go ahead. Leah,
No, go ahead. No, you first. You first.
Okay. Because I was gonna say it's like for Seer, they're used to working with crowds, but not like in this kind of setting. However, entertaining and doing this, it's something that I could say that they would really wish they can encounter. So it's kind of a nice, warm feeling they would have, but it's always filled with a sense of fear that they always knew. It's like, hey, I'm going to die if I get caught with just being around. However, it's slightly different. It feels less scary because Aluya is there. Aluya seems to bring a bit more confidence to Seer.
And Aluya.
So Aluya doesn't. No, she should, but she doesn't. Doesn't feel this looming threat about being a Genasi. I mean, sure, Seer has told her, and she's seen it happen to Seer. She just feels so much like herself, and it doesn't matter the body she's in. She's just Oluya, so she's genuinely trying to just do what she can and make this work. Also, seeing the money makes it feel really good. And also seeing Seer kind of like in this different playful tone, she's really enjoying it.
Yeah, that's why I enjoy it. It's the contrast between the experience and the ignorance. All right. So, like with a lingering like wolf whistle as one of the you know what, one of the sailors is a female doing the whistle, and she's just screaming, "Do it again! Do it again!" And we hear it echoing through the alleyway as we follow our tree man and otter boy. You guys are walking down this alleyway, and it's not too long, and it's not too complex, but there are like a couple lines of buildings, like one on the docks and one behind it as well, creating this like small pathway of alleyways. As you both make your way down, you hear the sound of meat on meat. You hear a you just hear like hard smacks as you guys walk down this alleyway. And I need to ask, what are you both doing? Are you stealthing? Are you investigating? Or are you brazen, just walking straight forward?
I think Eddie would just... Because I think he already has, like, in his own mind what this is. So I don't think he would actually, like, mind just, like, continuing, like, brazenly forward.
Okay.
He's already mentally prepared himself.
Okay. And Mavet, you hear the sound of meat on meat and slaps.
I'd go on to high alert.
Okay. Are you in front of Eddie? Behind him?
I'd be like an overprotective bodyguard, so I'd assume I'd just be making circles around him.
I can't even imagine that in my head.
You can't just like an overzealous bodyguard just like doing taekwondo moves all around him.
Well, imagining more of a... It's more weird and off-putting imagining you doing circles around him as you guys are walking. But yeah,
I'm making sure every inch is covered.
So yeah, like Eddie, like occasionally you have to slow down your pace as Mavet like goes in front of you every so often. But yes, if you guys aren't doing anything special here and just walking forward around the corner, I will narrate what happens next. But I'll give you guys a bit of a pause.
Okay. I think Mavet would be checking corners or any like alleyway doors that we pass. Make sure nothing's coming out of them.
Yeah.
Just be mindful, Mavet. I think you're about to see something weird, so...
Yeah. So,
prepare for that.
There is like a couple doors within this alleyway, and you see like a cook coming out with an apron, dumping like what looks to be... what the hell is it called? Not chump. Just like organs. Like you see like gutted organs of fish being like thrown away in a bucket to the trash can outside, and like as his blood-covered hands is making his way to the door knob, one time he squints as he looks at both of you, then quickly makes his way in, pretending like he didn't see anything.
I scared him off good, Eddie.
Yeah, fucking tree. Who would have fucking guessed? All right. Since it sounds like Mavet wants to do an investigation by the sounds of it, because you're just trying to look over the corner and see what's happening.
I would think that would either be stealth or just a perception.
Hmm.
I feel like those are two different things.
Yeah.
Well, stealth if I'm doing it, stealthily because, I'm an undercover secret agent type protecting you.
Let me tell you my logic here. Like, perception would be an alternative, but the idea, for me at least, is at this moment, stealth doesn't seem quite necessary. I would say if you guys were lingering and watching an event, then yes, stealth would be necessary. But it's not. You guys are in an alleyway, peeking over a corner. Like, I don't believe I need to stealth with this, but
Yeah. I'd say
I-
overall perception because I'm looking for all danger versus investigation where I think specific thing I'm looking for.
No, I would still hedge towards investigation because you're looking at an anomaly, a strange event that's happening beyond your line of sight here. It's your choice whether you want to roll it or not.
I'll roll it.
Yep.
I'm never not gonna roll something.
Well, if I make you roll a death save. All right. 13.
You suddenly keel over.
Yep. 13. So let me, first of all, tell you what you hear. Before you even reach the corner of the alley, you hear the sound of a crate being broken open as a body falls into it. And as you lean over the corner, you see 4 or 5 seafaring men surrounding an individual on the ground. And as the prone figure is going against the wall, this is the face that you see as Captain Valentine. What's important to note is what's not shown on the picture is the man has a scar across his neck. He wears a ponytail, has brown hair, and white skin, clean-shaven face, with purple jacket. And as he is leaning against the wall, you hear, "Is that all you got?" And the man's face begins to recoil at the sudden shout coming from around him. And you see the sailors above him, looking down, looming over him. They begin to just crack their knuckles, their fingers, necks. And I think one of them leans in, grabs him by the jacket, and raises the man up. And he says, "Say it again. Say it again. Right to my fucking face." And you just see the captain holding up both hands, shaking his head wildly. Then, following that, you hear him say, "Yeah, I'll say it again. Your mother was a cow and your wife is a whore." You see him biting his lip. And you see a punch go across his face. Do you keep watching these events unfold, Mavet?
Eddie, there's a guy getting beat up over here. Do we help? Or let it happen?
I guess just looking over, it's just like, oh, there he is. and just starts walking over.
Okay. You begin to walk over. And if you don't have a hastened pace, like I would say, like one, maybe two more hits goes across the face, just clenched fist, just right across the jaw, one across the eye. He's beginning to have a red mark and a little bit of purple bruising. And as you walk up, you see the men begin to cock their head towards you. Before you say anything, my good old friend. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Their eyes linger on your pen and your general outlook. And you see as you approach, like a couple of the men, like a scurry away, not wanting any trouble with you. But two men still stand right next to Captain Valentine, one holding him up against the wall, and the other one slightly behind the other sailor. You can still see him, it's just he looks like he's hiding himself a little bit. What do you do?
Good evening, bros.
I feel like the one holding up Valentine would say, "Good evening, Mr. Hayes." Gives you a nod. What brings you down here?
So, well, just kind of pulling out his pen and kind of taking a drag on it for a bit before responding. I was actually hoping to have a conversation with the good captain here.
Bites his lip a little bit. And you actually see him thinking. Like you see him like going. It seems like he's going over a couple things in his head. And you see him just say. And he also does have rosy cheeks. He looks like he's a few pints in, but he can handle it. And he says to you, Eddie, "Can we just have a couple more minutes?" And you see, like, the captain with begging, pleading eyes, really shaking his head. And again, you hear a voice coming from the captain. "What, you think you're tough? I'm not done with you yet. What, you gonna run away?"
Just like Eddie's eyes looking over at the captain. Takes another puff real quick before responding. You know you're literally asking for it, right?
And again, he's really shaking his head. And he, again, you hear from the captain. They're just bitches. I can handle them. All of them. And if you want, I can also offer you an investigation check, Eddie. And just for your clarity, there's there's a couple different DCs right here. Is there anything you'd
Not
like to
helpful,
do
though.
with this check?
I think I'll just go ahead and use the inspiration, because why not?
Yes, sir.
Oh, I guess for my own clarity here.
Ooh. Okay, let's go over a couple things here, Eddie. First thing, his lips have never moved since you have seen him, I'll say, quote unquote, talking. And as you have seen, his behavior has been quite meek compared to his bold claims and insults. Your eyes drift down, and as you see him, like throwing more shit at the sailor, saying that he can take him on, I think you might actually hear from him. And what are you gonna do about it, Otter? You gonna stop me from having fun? You're just a little bitch. And looking down, you see that his sword hilt is rattling each time he speaks. To really strike it home, you have a feeling that the words being spoken is not his own.
He clicks his tongue and hey Eddie, can you get that for me? As as like a smoky trail starts like a pouring out from him, and takes the hilt and removes it from the captain's belt.
Yeah, you see a cutlass with a you see the cutlass come out, and as you begin to grab it, you just hear, hey, 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 hands off the goods, hands off the goods, as it begins to rattle, and the voice trails along with the sword.
Yep. As he just kind of carries it away from the captain. Bruh, I don't think the captain's your problem.
And give me 1 second. What do you mean? With the 6, he's not piecing together the same things you have. It's Valentine. He's a ventriloquist. He's just throwing his voice around.
No, bruh, it seems that either he found... I think he's probably picked up a cursed blade that specifically likes to throw around insults to get the owner in trouble.
Works an
I mean,
eyebrow.
you could keep beating him up, but, I think your problem's actually with that blade over there. As he just kind of, tilts his head over at it.
There's a moment. A pause. And you did say you could keep beating him up, so he goes in for a couple more punches. Bap! Bap!
He casts Sanctuary.
Yeah. The sailor sees you casting the spell. The sanctuary goes over him, and he clicks his tongue. And seeing that, he doesn't have much more wiggle room, he just lets go of Captain Valentine. And the sailor comes up to you, Eddie, and just says, "I'm sorry you had to see that, Mr. Hayes." And gives you a kirk bow. And his eyes linger on the other sailor, gives him a nod, and they begin to walk away, giving one final leer at the captain, who is spitting up a bit of blood.
It's actually you'll probably flip gold coins in their directions.
And
drinks on me.
They give you a crooked smile. You see, or not crooked smile. They give you a bright smile, and you see some missing teeth. And he just goes, Hayes knows how to play. There you go. And just says, thank you. Appreciate it. And they make their way back into the pub. And you are with a sword and a captain leaning against the wall like in a coughing fit. And the sword keeps rattling, just going, "Hey, what are you doing? Let go of me!"
I think that you've had enough fun for the evening.
He's still breathing. He's fine. He's fine. Look at him. Top bill of health. And you see him just spitting blood on the floor.
Eddie takes another drag from his vape pen, and as like the smoke starts lingering over, he at least gives the man a healing word.
Okay. Yeah. The healing word goes around, and make the roll for me, please. Down.
Whoops. Where's the...
And
Come on.
And I want you guys to remind me when we go on to battle map that you guys are super fucking big. Just realize that as I'm trying to put another token onto this map. You guys are fucking huge. And it's gonna confuse the fuck out of me for a couple minutes. Oh, a little too big.
Come on. Seven for the captain.
And as you're casting the word, what's the healing word?
Well, no, like the thematic that I've decided to go with is that you literally essentially blowing smoke, and okay. It's like in like maybe a bit. I think it probably the smoke actually does specifically travel down to their face, so it's kind of like blowing smoke in his face, but from a distance.
Yeah. And as you do that, he just his eyes linger on you for a couple minutes too long. Then towards the tree man, then cocks his head to the shoulder, inquisitively looking at the tree man. Ahem, tree man.
Captain.
He didn't say anything. I'm worried about guarding Eddie.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything. Yep, and as you say good evening, he looks towards you, Mega, and struggles to his feet and gives a more elegant bow, fist over chest kind of bow that you'd see in Attack on Titan. Kind of like that pose, except with bow. But as he does so, he doesn't say a single word. And you do hear the sword just going, "Oh, why do you have to go and do that? He's not going to get any hair on his chest now." Squints his eyes at the sword.
He clicks his tongue, and looking to the captain. Captain, can you speak?
Points to the scar on his neck. Gives a shrug. And I think the sword would pipe in and just goes, "Ha! He hasn't been able to speak for years. Yeah, he went to the bar once and said the wrong thing to the wrong guy." And you just hear the clatter of the a guard against the handle.
So, you want to maybe get a private room, Captain?
Gives you a slow nod. Then looks towards the blade. Eyes just staring at it. Then back at you. And gingerly holds a hand out. Palm up.
So, you realize you're gonna need to get a better solution than that, right?
We're partners in crime. He can't go anywhere without me.
So, hand it back, Eddie. And the blade slowly starts to go wander back to the captain's hand.
Yep. He gracefully grabs the hilt, and he, with unnecessary force, shoves the cutlass into a makeshift scabbard. And you just hear, "Oh!" as it goes in. It seems like it was primarily made to make it painful. Like, there's no need for a fucking scabbard. Like, he specifically bought one for this.
I bet it's maybe
And-
rusty on the inside, like it hasn't been kept
Yep.
for a while.
Exactly. But gives you a nod and open hand gesture. You'll lead on.
So, yeah, I think I know a place, unless it's... Nah, it probably didn't close down. I guess Eddie would then send a message to Aluya, just like, "Hey, the captain and I are getting a private room. How are things going with you?"
You could hear...
Great.
Mega, you could hear the hooting and hollering.
Take all the time you need. Don't worry. If you need us, just give a holler. But right now, just do you. Okay, gotta go. I'm busy, so bye.
Well, at least she's having fun.
All right. Because we're running
let's get going.
close... Yeah,
Yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
because
that's
we're
probably
running
seems as
close
good a
on
spot to
time.
stop.
Yeah. Well, I kind of want to have a bit more of a cliffhanger here. So I want you to describe the scene for me, Mega. What does this location look like where this talk is going to happen?
I actually imagine that that Eddie leads Mavet and the captain to a figurative and literal hole in the wall. It's like something like, like a more like, I guess maybe if I really wanted to put a descriptor to it, like a hole in the wall, like a hookah bar.
Okay. Okay, so
You know,
I'm
so
yeah,
when I say hole in the wall, I mean you
A
understand.
literal.
I mean more like a bit more like out of the way, like maybe like something more frequented by hipsters. So
yeah, yeah. But I'm imagining it slightly into like the stonework of a building, or like some kind of overhang, but it's a little
Yeah.
open. Okay, yeah, I like that. And the captain sits down, and he looks towards each and every both of you. And I guess how do you start the conversation, Eddie?
I think it might be easier for, say, everyone to get involved if, as Eddie starts fiddling around with the hookah machine, and and makes his own insertion. I think you already know how this works.
Looks down at it, and you see a glint of recognition. Like he has handled this product some way, shape, or form before.
So then looks to Mavet. It's this time you'll want to breathe if you want to stay in the chat, as it were.
God damn it, dude. Okay. You know what, Mavet? Have your moment. What do you do? Give me a little bit of RP here.
Mavet's, just over exaggerating his breathing because he never has to do it. So he's taking deep breaths.
Okay.
Now
so
we can talk at.
So like SpongeBob and Patrick. Gotcha.
Okay. Oh, wait, sorry. Hold on. It's just he takes one of the ends, sticks it in his mouth. Okay, breathe through that.
So Mavet inhales the pipe, and when he goes to exhale, he's blowing air as hard as he can. So I never saw a hookah, so I don't know if that would hurt it or anything.
Just looks over at the captain while this is happening. He's kind of new at this.
Gives a very slow and reluctant nod.
So, but in which case offers the same to the captain and starts smoking himself.
Yep. He begins to smoke. Takes a deep inhale and exhale. And as he exhales, we hear the captain's voice. Oh, thank God. Thought I'd never talk to another soul again. And that's where we'll end today's session. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
This has been House Common Blood. The intro and outro music is Oh My Dog by Savick, and any other music and sound effects used in the episode are royalty free. Credits can be found in the episode description. Please review us on whatever podcast listening app you happen to be using. And if you like us, tell other people. Word of mouth is the best way for us to grow. Thank you for joining us. Hope to see you soon.